Well, good morning, folks. It is Nick Mulbauer here, and we have our first little bluegill here on a tungsten mongo jig and a Seagull Baits soft plastic tadpole pattern, like I've been fishing for you guys who have been paying attention to what I've been doing. Today we could talk about one of the best places for beginners to get out on the ice, and where I think is a good place if you don't have anywhere to start or nobody that you know that can help put you on some fish, is just go to local retention ponds in your suburban areas. They're small. It's usually pretty easy to find the fish because they're not big, and it's just a lot of fun. Fish are usually pretty energetic, and actually these retention ponds can grow some pretty acceptable panfish, nice quality bluegill, bass, crappie, you name it. These retention ponds really have some nice fish in them sometimes. But the biggest draw as a beginner to these retention ponds is just that it's easy to find fish. You do not have to go map, you don't have to go do a ton of homework to be able to catch these fish. You just get yourself a transducer, an ice rod, some ice jigs, and a drill or an auger, and get out there and just go look for them. They're usually corralled and they're easy to find. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'll give you guys more details as I catch fish. There's another nice gill, guys. See, these are very acceptable gills, folks. Nice size. They take up your whole hand. You can get a bit of meat off them if you're allowed to take. That's the thing about these retention ponds. You're going to have to look up what the city and HOA rules are regarding harvesting fish and even being able to fish some of these places. Sometimes they allow you, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you can take fish, sometimes you can't. And they just all have different rules in regards to what you can do, if you can fish, and just different laws. They're all different. So that's something to keep in mind when fishing these city retention ponds, is just make sure you do a bit of homework in that realm and make sure that you can fish them and make sure that you can or can't harvest these fish. Now, generally something that can really up your odds for landing fish is just switching to waxies and natural baits. I generally use synthetics just because I don't enjoy having to run to the store. Plastics last a long time, and if you work them correctly, you can have just as good luck or almost better luck with artificial soft plastics. Though I will say that, especially in regards to bluegill, in my experience, those waxies really catch the heck out of bluegill. It might be a good way to start, just because fish tend to fight a little harder with those natural baits. That was a big mark. We'll see what this is. Hopefully we can get in. That's a big bluegill. Yeah, man. Before he gets caught up in the deucer. There we go, guys. Just hole hopping. Another beautiful bluegill, folks. Can't beat it. Just in these retention ponds, guys. Right out your back door. Just hole hop. Look for those marks on your deucer. And if you don't know what a transducer is and what a Vexilar is, it's called a flasher, and what it does is it sends out sonar, and if anything obstructs that signal it sends out, it comes back as light. And when that happens, you know that that's either a fish in the water column, or perhaps it's some tree branches, which if you found some trees, generally fish aren't too far away. So that's how that works, but it is incredibly helpful. As many people who fish know, during the winter season, the bite is not usually as aggressive as the warmer months. So it's really good to have that flasher around to know there are fish, because a lot of times you cannot feel that bite either, especially if you're getting into it and you're a beginner. Feeling that bite is something that takes practice and time. Nice mark came in there, switched colors. Beautiful little crappie there, guys. Another one, that was on the 13 fishing swim bait. Switched out, he came up for it quick, changing to that pink swim bait color. Swapped it out from that Seagull Baits and smoked it. So there's another nice crappie there for us, folks. Right on these retention ponds, guys. A ton of fun. We'll put him down the other hole. Let him go. Get that bait down there and see if another crappie won't hit it. Alright guys, I think I got another crappie coming up. Mark was mid-depth. I was wrong. High suspended bluegill. Chomped it. For the size of this bluegill, he was hungry. Well guys, I think we're going to conclude our trip out here. To summarize the summary, all you need is to just get yourself some gear. If you're just getting into ice fishing, get yourself an ice rod, get yourself some plastics, particularly tungsten jigs, because they drop faster, and it's very helpful to have that denser tungsten as compared to lead jig heads that we use in the warmer months. Get yourself a drill, a flasher, and just get out there on some retention ponds. It's a bit of a startup fee there, but it's so worth it. It's so fun. Helps pass the time in the winter, and it's just a joy being outdoors. Got a big mark coming in here. There we go. That was a big mark. Feels heavier, probably a bass. It's a good way to cap the day. Yep. A bass to end the day there, folks. Wrapped around the transducer on that VMC tungsten jig and 13 fishing minnow. So there we go. We'll end the day there. Get that little bass down the hole. And yeah, like I said, get yourself some of that gear. Get out there and enjoy the beautiful weather winter has to offer. It's so much more fun than being indoors, cooped up. So get on it. Have yourself a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys next time back out on the water. See you guys.